What's going on, everybody? My name is Jordan, aka King Friday, and I'm here with Chester Lee from Lumens. I am so excited to talk to you. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. I'm just happy to be here and have a chance to actually meet you in person.
Absolutely, yeah. Just a couple of little webcam meetings here and there, and it's like we actually get to, flesh and blood, in the flesh.
Exactly.
And you brought toy.
I did bring a toy.
Nice.
We brought a toy.
What do we got?
So we brought today to you is the TR30 camera. This is actually our new entry-level camera. It's a 12x optical zoom 1080p. But it's got a few new features, not your standard boring PTZ camera. Right? It's not just a dumb camera that you sit there and you move and adjust manually. This thing is a smart camera.
Nice. So I'm excited to talk about it. I think one thing that we should probably talk about before we do that, so we can build up a little anticipation here.
Yeah.
Some new things are happening with Lumens specifically, and I'm excited about that. I'd love to hear your thoughts about what's happening with the company.
So the Lumens is definitely embracing the AI world. Right?
Okay.
Everything's got to be more on the spot. It's not just, let's try to manually get things done. It's all automated. So the Lumens is coming from a PTZ camera to a smart AI camera. So you'll see that coming in from standard conference rooms, but let's jump also into broadcasting. So you have NDI solutions that are coming out and Dante solutions coming out. So it's got a lot of new things coming out as we go into 2024 and beyond. You'll see those solutions on there. So as we get to it, I want to make sure that we talk about auto tracking. Specifically auto voice tracking, and then we'll go to a separate topic to go with that. So this is our auto tracking, voice tracking camera by itself sitting here.
Oh, fully self-contained?
Self-contained.
Wow.
But there's other digital features that highlight it. So obviously there's some setup that needs to be done, but it can be done. But as you think about an office environment and they're speaking, right? You've got, let's talk a standard table, right? You got two guys, and one guy, there's a question going on. The camera will say, well, there's two people going on. Some cameras will sit there and go, boom, left, boom, right, or switch left and right every second.
Right.
So now you're watching, you're watching Blair Witch the movie and you're getting nauseous while you're watching the video camera, right?
Yeah.
So how do we do that, right? How do we fix that, right? So on some of our solutions that you have, we can adjust the timing. But this one's a little bit different. This is not meant for a big auditorium. This is meant for that 12/8 conference room solution. It's got a secondary camera built in underneath.
Okay.
So now that you know that you and I are just going back and forth, so the camera's not jumping, the camera says, hey, wait a minute, there's a conversation going on. Let's back it out, make it a little more panoramic at 72 degrees. Now I have both you guys in the same shot having this discussion. And then after the discussion's over, the camera will go back to its main lens.
Wow.
And then go through it. So then it really saves some of the hassle and just more of a proper meeting equity, I guess I would say.
Yep, absolutely.
So that way you're not focusing on one or the other or making it a distraction more than anything else.
Right. Well, and see, I think a lot of people are trying to add more production value to their meetings, so where it's not just, those webcam faces, on everything. They're wanting to add a little bit more production value, but in certain situations that can mean more people, that can mean a lot more gear, depending on the complication that you want. This seems to be able to allow any conference room to sort of turn into a broadcast room and give you that production without it being a distraction.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
That's what it is. It's really, this is meant to be a tool, not a distraction.
Excellent.
And that's where sometimes the camera becomes a distraction on that piece. So that's really kind of one of the bigger issues we face on there. But there's also a second thing that also makes it very smart. It starts looking at gesture control. So you'll start seeing where people are not necessarily fidgeting, that's not the way I want to look at it, but people who are speaking, it'll adjust that, he's ready to speak. It'll start to recognize with use that, hey, wait a minute, let's adjust gradually to this person if that looks the case, because you have possibly a presenter in the front, or you may just have everyone here and then the display. It just depends on the solution you have. Right? But it's going to start to acknowledge there's movement of someone about ready to speak. The camera will recognize that and adjust automatically without having control. So it gives it a new piece to its capability on it. But one I want to say is that it's not the 2021, 2020 camera. It's the next generation of smart cameras, AI-based solutions on there.
That's awesome, because it sounds like Lumens is really trying to go down that path and is really succeeding if you were able to put all of that into a single body. Because you still do have Cam Connect, right? That's still a product that allows you to be able to utilize different cameras other than just the TR30.
So the Cam Connect makes any camera from Lumens a smart AI camera. So
amazing.
That's a beautiful piece.
Yeah.
That works a little bit differently because we work with a lot of our new partners. That's where Lumens is looking to fix a solution and develop a solution for the problems that we have. So with that piece, we partner up with our microphone partners like Yamaha, Shure,
Nareva. Yeah.
Sennheiser. So what we do is that we use their microphones to figure out where's the person talking to. So in a larger environment, you've got, it's not the 14-person conference room, but maybe you're at a city council meeting where you have the 10 people in front or how many people in front, and as people ask questions, they'll move and people walk up as they go and the cameras will automatically adjust. So with Cam Connect, you have a lot of playful settings with it, meaning you can adjust it, going back to that Blair Witch joke, I said you can adjust it where it's a second, 2 second, tenth of a second delay. Depends on how the environment is, right? From there you'll adjust it and go to an auditorium where you may have multiple mics, and multiple areas of speaking, and then you'll have the lobes that will adjust based on that room.
Sure.
So it's easy to set up, but obviously there's a lot of fine tuning that needs to be done, and there's no fine tuning that's set, period, right? Meaning every room is different.
Yeah, definitely.
Every environment is different, but we are going to going back to the comment of meeting equity is such an important piece that we don't want to be always constantly looking at the side of everyone's head or the back of their head. So this gives the person more involvement in the meetings, I think is what we have on there.
That's awesome.
So you'll see that with that Cam Connect, and then you'll see that going with the Cam Connect, also some processing the video with our media processor. So you'll see that streaming into a YouTube. Because, I watch city council meetings on YouTube. School board meetings I have it on YouTube. So we're going from not just the camera, as you said, Lumens is a solution now from the camera through the internet and then back out to the world.
That's amazing. Well, and I think too, I think some people are trying to figure out, well, actually I think a lot of people are trying to figure out how to make a conference room just generally more, as you're saying, more equitable, not just specifically for the presentation side of it, because that's a big issue, is that people will come in with everybody comes in with a laptop and then will want to present at different points of time, which, then you have to think about that. But so there are a lot of people that are wanting that now, as it's like anybody can present at any time. So there are solutions for that. But then on the flip side, then it's like, well, does that also then translate to the remote audience? Because it's like you were saying, it's like, well, I mean, I can just turn, I can turn to look to you. I can turn to look to the other person. It's like, but especially for the remote audience as well, they don't have that luxury. Right. And then it's like, I've seen certain situations where everybody's got Teams running, everybody's got their webcam on, everybody's presenting, and it can start to bog down your internet with that many people all trying to join into the call at the same time and do that. So I think that it really it serves a certain audience that wants to have the ultimate in meeting equity. I think it's awesome.
I think you hit it on the head right there. It's the meeting equity, because everyone needs to be, it's harder to hear clearly just from speaking to the side versus face to face. There's that presence that you give, and it gives the individual the stage, I guess you would say. I think that produces a better and more influential meeting.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So do you see any other emerging technologies? So you were specifically talking about AI, visual AI, being able to utilize that. You also talked about auditory with cam control. Any other emerging technologies you guys are using?
The other one that we have about is, I think I may have hit it, but it's gesture control. That's the other one. So you're dealing with differences between people stretching, like this, versus someone raising their hand or standing up. So you'll see that being built into the cameras and improving as we go, but also seeing that in our media process, especially when you talk about education and lecture capturing capabilities. So you'll see that coming in, and you'll see that actually in our new version of the LC300. We're the first generation that has it. We call it the Intelligent Director is what we have.
Wow, that's amazing.
So that just is about ready to ship out in about 2 weeks, and we're excited to have it. But that will be something that is part of that solution we talked about, where now we are having the cameras through the media processor and then broadcasting it out. So it's exciting to see. Lumens has come such a long way over the last years, and we've really made a lot of enhancements in our technology, really understanding what the customer needs in the world. And it's more of that equity that we need to have. And I'll say that over again because I think it's important.
Yeah.
But you'll see that we are just, it's an evolution of what we are as an organization.
Absolutely.
The money we've spent in R&D and the amount of time we have really talking to partners customers and what they're looking for, taking that information and developing a solution for them.
That's incredible. I don't know. I don't know if I can add anything to that. That was very eloquent. That was perfect. That was exactly what it is. I will add one thing that I think for classrooms and for corporate, it's like Lumens has a very unique skill set. I mean, from the LC100 and the LC200, being able to have your media processor and recorder in that regard, being able to stream that way, has the cameras, document cameras, the webcams. It's like I mean, we keep saying meeting equity, but I think if people sort of get that into their head, that it's like, if those are the words that are coming out of your mouth, Lumen should be the next word that's coming out of your mouth after that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, we fit every world that you have in there. You're going from K through 12 markets with our document. We've had Ladybug for eternity.
Yeah.
And still an amazing solution. You can start from there, but going up to the corporate world, we talk about that. We talk about government, city council. Let's also think about house of worship. A big piece of our business is the house of worship with the media processors or streaming. So you'll see that market, K through 12, high ed, corporate, house of worship. And what's coming out also, we have new IP camera controllers coming out on the market too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about broadcasting. Now you're talking about live streaming. Think about music venues. Think about sporting events. We have a new controller that will support up to 255 cameras with a hot buttons for 7 main cameras for your imaging. So you think about a baseball game, the major images you're looking at is the screenshot to looking at the pitcher, to the hitter hitting, to the first base. So those are probably your 3 most common cameras. So boom, 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 you're ready to go at a moment's notice on that piece. So you'll see it.
I think being able to have less people too, like, depending on, what your team size is, I think that could be really helpful to be able to say that it's like, we don't need, 3 or 4 different PTZ controllers that control certain ones. It's like we can have one person that is able to control potentially the entire baseball field, from one controller. That's incredible.
Yeah, I think you'll see that, but it all helps, the education system, the house of worship, the city council, because you're right, they can't have a staff of 5 people working on it at one time.
It's just not feasible.
You got staff of 1, maybe if you're lucky, maybe they're not fully trained on it, but it's simple enough to use to know that, hey, I just need to hit those cameras and I'm set.
Yeah. Exactly. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for bringing this. Thank you for showing me this. Are there any other points that we should know about Lumens? I actually did want to say specifically about Dante, that I know you guys have a Dante-enabled camera that just came out recently. Is that correct?
So we do have a Dante camera, and then you'll see us expand. We're growing our vision of what we want to do because we're encompassing it. So we'll have that one, and then we'll also actually have a Dante AV over IP solution coming out very soon.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you'll see us really get into NDI. We're already pretty deep into NDI with the cameras, the media processors, and the controllers. But you'll see our expansion into Dante over this next year as well.
That's
so it's
incredible.
Really cool.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, as we close, how can people get in touch with you? What is the best way if they want to sort of start their their Lumens journey and getting that into that? How would you say?
Go to our website, mylumens.com, mylumens.com. That'll take you to our main page, and then from there you'll have access to our whole entire sales team. So you have their contact information, our marketing team. You'll see us across the U.S. So we'll be in a number of educational shows, as well as major shows like Infocom and NAB coming up next year.
Awesome. Great. And I would also definitely say contact your JB&A representative. They would always be happy to help with any Lumens questions that you might have, be able to get you the solutions that you need. And Lumens has many of them. Chester, thank you so much for coming out. Great to meet you in person.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm King Friday, and I will catch you on the next one.